Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have the best ladder player in the world finishing season 2 number 1 and in season 4. An amazing ladder player on the channel, Mr. Rosa. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me, man.
You're mostly known for your competitive achievements, which started all the way back in the first season of beta. So I want you to tell me a little bit, walk us through how you first discovered Clash Mini.
Well, Clash Mini, I discovered by the announcement first by Supercell with the other 3 games, Clash Quest, Clash Mini, Clash Heroes. I really didn't think Clash Mini was going to be the best. I was a lot more looking forward to Clash Heroes. So when Clash Mini gave out, I did give it a try. I also did give Clash Quest a try. I can't say that I lasted very long on that game. But Clash Mini, I fell in love with it, and ever since then, I just never stopped playing it, to be honest.
Yeah. And so initially out of the 3 beta games, Clash Mini wasn't your first choice?
No, Clash Heroes actually looked a lot more like a dungeons type thing that I was interested in.
Okay.
So I really wanted to give that one a try, but there's been really no announcements on it for, I think, almost 2 years now. So
Yeah. And so what is fascinating for me is that you instantly took a competitive approach to Clash Mini. So my question is, where did that come from?
Well, in Clash Royale, I also did play competitively, so picking up a new game and especially a Supercell game was going to be very easy for me to just try to compete because I love the company, I love the Clash universe, so for me it was a no-brainer. Yeah,
so you have that Supercell competitive DNA in you, as some could say. So so as soon as Clash Mini you fell in love and you saw potential, you were like, well, I've got this competitiveness in me that let's go all in on Clash Mini.
Exactly.
And so what's so remarkable is how you've been able to consistently, on a very, very consistent basis, to dominate ladder with, reaching back in season 2 and season 4 the number 1 spot. So walk us through what it took to become number 1 in season 2.
In season 2, it took more hours than maybe a few things I've done in my life. A lot of determination as well, and will. I mean, like I said, I expected to finish first, so I was going to finish first, in my opinion. Like, there was no way I wasn't going to, so I put in the hours and all the work to make sure I could get it.
Yes, and
it also helped.
And the thing is, what's so fascinating is that you have to be mentally very, very strong because especially when you push super high on ladder, any mistake could push you back a lot of trophies and you would lose maybe 2-3 hours of progress. So how did you handle that?
I handled that by having a lot of friends on call, being able to joke around and practice a lot, and do other things while we played. Play some other games like it was like drawing games on Discord, or just listen to music and just talk and things like that. Getting to know people, especially just being in like an open server. Yeah, that really helped being able to motivate me. So,
so you would say that your friends definitely helped you out, and not fully focusing on the game for 2-3 hours was definitely something, an approach you took. You didn't want to go all in your room in the darkness just to play Clash Mini by yourself. You went
no way. I really don't think it's possible to do it by yourself.
Because the tilt basically becomes inevitable in these conditions. And in season 4, so again, were you the first one to finish first in 2 seasons? Probably.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And so my question is, how did that season 4 number 1 finish go? Was there any difference? with the season
Well,
2?
I had loved the ladder changes because it made it a lot more competitive. I mean, of course, there was still a pretty big level difference, the level 6 versus level 10s, but in my opinion, it was a lot more competitive than season 2 and 3, as those were just basically who could put in 23 out of 24 hours a day. So, and it was a lot harder. So, and we had a lot of people competing against each other to see who can get number 1, and all of us just little friendly banter. Made it a lot more fun, and I feel like that was a reason to keep playing.
Yes, so it was less time-based and more skill-based, because back in season 4, you mentioned to me that it took, if you lost maybe one game, you would lose, 40 trophies, which back then amounted to, 2 or 3 hours of progression. So how did you? So then again, you didn't let the tilt come to you by, speaking with your friends, having some friends around, because it definitely could be, at least for me, demoralizing to push for a whole afternoon and to see that all crumble away in just one bad matchup or one hard counter. So that is definitely props to you, because it's not many people can do that and push themselves to the limit in Clash Mini. And my second question is regarding the last season, because last season you finished number 2 in the world. How was that? What did it take, and what changed? Because this season was when no movement got introduced. So walk us through a bit what happened in between those seasons and last season. What made you push this time ladder?
Yeah, for me, gizmos weren't my favorite, so it was honestly getting harder and harder for me to keep continuing to play Clash Mini. I would only play every now and then just to practice and play some tourneys, but I wouldn't put in the hours for ladder just because I didn't really like how gizmos changed matchups so drastically. And then the no movement for me was a huge change. I really liked it. I really mainly liked it just because of the clash, and now you could change things and everything you practice would be consistent. So instead of just getting randomly guessed by a fister or randomly bowled by a bowler.
That's definitely something that, in the previous seasons, you could sometimes feel powerless when it came to the RNG factor, but with no movement, you can really build and refine your strategy over the games, and that is something that I truly appreciated. And also the fact that the matchmaking at least became way more competitive, and that is definitely props to Clash Mini for bringing a ladder system where you would play against people really close to your trophy count. And because that last season, what did it take? I mean, with all the Wave Master Bandits, like, how did you handle that?
Oh man, okay, I've been waiting to say this. I hope Frame doesn't get mad at no one, but honestly, I think this was by far the worst meta I've ever played.
Okay.
I truly don't think there was been one worse, just because Bandit, like, you either had to play the Bandit or you had to have 4 counters for the Bandit in your deck. I mean, there was just no other way around it. And it completely stopped maybe more than half the heroes, more than half the minis. So for me, it was very hard.
Completely overwhelming. A mini that could just basically counter everything. And I mean, we should expect some heavy nerfs to the Bandit, as it's just, as you mentioned, it's either you play her or you build your whole deck against her, and if the opponent isn't running, Wave Master Bandit, then you're basically done because you built your whole deck against one single strategy.
Exactly.
How many out of like 100 games? How many would you play with Wave Master Bandit? Would you say?
Oh man, I would say at least 85. Like it 85. It was really bad. It really was bad. So what the deck I used, we practiced for a while to literally just get it perfectly versus Wave Master, which was the Countess P.E.K.K.A. LJ deck, so the Bandit could just never dash. I substituted in a Spear Goblin, actually. So when the Bandit was thrown, the Spear Goblin plus the P.E.K.K.A. would just immediately kill it. It wouldn't even really dash at all.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, these sneaky strategies. I've actually never heard of that, so wow. Well, I mean, the balance changes are going to be coming in a few days, but it's definitely worth noting that you saw the meta, you understood what was going on, Wave Master Bandit, and you took advantage with a Spear Goblin P.E.K.K.A. So a really, really nice way of countering a hero that you saw 90% of the time on ladder.
Yeah.
And so you kind of anticipated my question with how did you the no movement change? What were your first reaction? Because it scared a lot of people, including myself, to see such a core gameplay change. For you, what were your first impressions? Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of the people I talked to as well, they were thinking about like quitting and this is the worst change they could make and blah blah. I did a little convincing. I really thought this would be for the better, just for the fact, as I said, everything would be more consistent. You could find solid setups and solid upgrade patterns versus every single matchup, and nothing would change. It's like you don't switch sides, you don't have to guess where they're going to be. You know where they're going to be, and you know what you have to do. So as long as you practice and you get things down perfectly, I mean, nothing should be able to beat you, technically.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely feels a lot more rewarding, to build your whole strategy, to really understand what's going on, and to adapt. And this definitely reduced a lot of RNG in the game. And it's a gamble, it's a risk that the Clash Mini team took, and I strongly believe it paid off, and it was necessary for the game to go global. So talking about going global, Mr. I'm gonna ask the almighty question, the question that no one can dodge on this channel. What do you think for you is the missing piece for Clash Mini to go global?
For me personally, and I think this could mainly be because my competitive aspect, social features and being able to maybe even adjust friendly battles and use certain tiles you want to use and test different interactions like that, as well as having a friends list, some updates to clans, a clan leaderboard. For me, that is what they need. But I'm strictly competitive, so I can't really tell the point of view from someone who's a casual and free to play, because I really haven't started a new account in maybe over a year now. So.
So
I don't think I have much of a say on that side.
Social features for you are just a must, and I think it's definitely on their priority list to have. Every Supercell game has spectating mode. Every Supercell game has friends list. So I definitely think it's one of their priority. But at the time of this recording, we're currently in September of 2023. The only thing missing, I would say, is the core progression system, the monetization of the game. Because at the end of the day, Supercell is a company, and as with every company, they need to be making money. And right now, the way people get hero shards, the way I've seen in my comment sections, people telling me they've maxed out 3 accounts in a couple of months just by doing those daily quests, those pushing ladder. So that's definitely an area where Clash Mini needs to fix, and maybe also why not completely change the way Clash Mini would be played by maybe implementing a cosmetic progression. What would you say to that deal where, all right, here's the game. Clash Mini going global will be a game very free to play, and will have a bit pricey cosmetic skins to keep the game going. What would you say to that?
I'd say that's very big, because if you come into this game competitive and you have max heroes, I mean, I'm sure you don't really care for cosmetics. If you can compete at the highest level immediately, then they'll love it. And then for the casuals, being able to get their skins and do the quest and progress how they want to progress, then I think it's just the best of both worlds right there.
Yeah, it's definitely this scenario would definitely be taking a page out of Brawl Stars, which is, from what I've heard, a very, very free to play game where you can choose which brawlers you can upgrade, you can choose which skins you can unlock, which isn't something available in Clash Mini, but it could be introduced. So definitely, if we combine the best of all Supercell games, including Clash Royale, including Clash of Clans, Clash Mini should be in a healthy spot to go global in the next 3 or 4 or the early 2024. Let's keep it over here. But yeah, thank you so much, Rosa, for first of all for being here and for just giving me your thoughts, your opinion on the game as probably one of the best ladder players in the world. Thank you so much. Would you like me to link any of your socials down below?
Yeah, just my Twitter will be fine. And I must say, I've watched a few of these interviews, and honestly, they are very fun. And I like how you mostly get competitive players, so I appreciate you having me a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's definitely that competitive side is definitely something I took from CWA, Clash with Ash, a YouTuber you might be familiar with as a Clash Royale player, just inviting the best players. That's definitely something I when I was small, I always wanted to do, and now I have the pleasure of inviting you and other top players. So thank you so much, Rosa, and thank you so much, guys, for watching till the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful interview, and I'll see you in another video. Later, fellas.